Hi, I'm Cameron Trainer, and for my project I've chosen to create a box because I feel that it best represents my understanding of the book as well as my analysis. The reason for the structure is that the inside remains unseen while the box is closed. Like South Bronx, its true characters hidden from the world, camouflaged by a misleading appearance. This outer appearance of a prison represents the greater sense of misunderstanding that is felt by poverty in New York City. The start of this idea stemmed from the pleasant-looking homes painted on the side of the actually abandoned buildings of South Bronx. It angered me that the city would lie and cover up the suffering of so many people, much the same reasons it angered Giselle Luke in the novel. So, I painted the outside of the box to represent the stereotypical thoughts that come to mind when people think of poverty, focusing on starvation, sickness, drugs, and isolation, while giving it the design of a prison to represent how the people of South Bronx see their poverty and the place they call home. I do believe that the thoughts I listed accurately represent South Bronx, however, not because the people bring it upon themselves. Agreeing with Susan Greenbaum, poverty is not caused by the tangle of pathology, or as also stated on page 23 of Amazing Grace, the idea that what poor people undergo is to be blamed upon their own behaviors. Rather, it is caused by the rationalized prerogatives of people with too much wealth and power. Those with wealth and power may be trying to make sure the minorities do not become majorities, as discussed on page 107 of Amazing Grace. Or as discussed by Gregory Mancios, because they are ignorant of the poor situation, as the media provides little coverage of impoverished people, and what coverage they provide puts them in poor favor, resulting in them being a low priority compared to upper middle class and wealthy persons of New York City. Overall, South Bronx is severely misunderstood in the reason behind its people's suffering, and that in turn isolates them, leaving them to fight the epidemic of AIDS, heroin, and hunger nearly all alone, almost as if they are in a cage, separated by the rest of society. On the inside of the box, I used bright colors common to that of the stuffed bears in the park to convey the reality of people who live in South Bronx, which is that they are good people thrown into a world of poverty that they cannot escape, contrasting greatly to ideas others have of them. I emphasized characteristics such as respect, kindness, selflessness, intellect, forgiveness, and poetry. On page 65 of Amazing Grace, it says that the park was built for and by the people so that children would be treated with respect. This shows the care that neighbors take towards one another, which is a part of the Bronx that is never portrayed in media or known to society. Also, as expressed by Cliff, who gives his pizza slice to a homeless man when he already has so little to eat, there is endless selflessness shown throughout the neighborhood, a level of civility unparalleled in other areas of New York where many never consider the non-profitable benefit of others. Next is the interest in literature by many, but specifically Mr. Castro and poetry in Amazing Grace. It provides another non-stereotypical element of South Bronx. Kozol even compares his time with Castro to a college class. I also chose to draw teddy bears on the insides as a tribute to the children of South Bronx, as they're in the park, because unfortunately, the death of children is a reality of South Bronx that goes too unnoticed and not discussed by those who have the power to help. Here is a better look. Yeah, thank you.